Hey everyone, I am back with another video. This one is on what I do 2 weeks and closer to I leave for convention, like prep work of what I do closer to what before I get ready to leave for convention. Um, my husband doesn't normally join me for convention. There's once that he came the very last day because it's in Houston. I got a hotel room because I didn't want to drive from my part of town or our part of town to um, the area it was in. And there's a lot of traffic. It takes an hour and a half to get there during rush hour, and when it's not a lot of traffic, like really super early in the morning, like around 4 or 5. It only takes 20 minutes, 30 minutes. But where I live and the time I needed to be there, it it um it would take an hour and a half to get there, and that means I would have to leave by. I had to be there by 7, and that means I would have had to leave the house by 5 or 5:30, and yeah, that means I would have been up like 3:30 or 4, and be there until at least 4:30 or 5 o'clock at the hotel, and then come back and then change and then come right back, and it was just not worth it. And between 4:30 and 6:30, 7 o'clock is rush hour in Houston. So yeah, I'm like, I was not gonna do it. It's like, okay, nope, every day, and I had to be there because I was a system guard. I was not gonna do it. I was got a hotel room. I knew I was gonna do get a few drinks after I was done with all the business meetings. So I was like, no, I'm doing it. And he came in because it was my birthday. So he came in and that one night and stayed the night, and we did our thing. But this is what I do for me. 2 weeks before the convention, I confirm with the hotel with my reservations. They normally email me anyway, the confirmation number and everything else, and I print that off. But I call the hotel and confirm to make sure. Next thing is I confirm with details as far as driving to and from convention. I usually drive with my parents. Either I drive or they drive. They're still comfortable with driving, and they prefer to drive, but my dad's 72 and my mom is in her upper 60s, 68, 69. So she's getting to the point where, yeah, I need to start driving to convention. So if they want me to drive, I'll fine. But if they want to drive, it's fine. If not, I'll drive, or I'm driving myself. That means I also have to need car maintenance, oil changes, tune-ups, tires, anything like that. I make sure it gets done by this time or during this time. Next thing is if I'm sharing a hotel room with somebody, if I'm sharing a hotel with another auxiliary member, female, because now we have male and female VFW auxiliary members. So I'm going to stress female, because I don't want to get any confusion there with any spouses or anything like that. I confirm with them if they are still attending and they still want to share a hotel room, or if they don't, they got their hotel room. I don't want to leave them stranded, because I usually set my own hotel room, because I've always done my own hotel room, set it up, except for when I shared it with my mom one year. My real mom, not my stepmom. I shared a room with her, and she made the reservations, but I normally, ever since then, I make my own reservations. So if I get a hotel room, I get it super early. That's why I always do it super early, like way back in end of January, beginning of February, and I set my hotel room so that way I don't have to worry about not getting a hotel room. I've got my room. I confirm with them if they want to share a room, and then every time I shared a room with somebody, we just split the cost of the hotel room, like if the room itself. Now, if they order room service, they pay for that. I mean, the actual night stay of the hotel room. So if The room was, I think this year it's 109 per night. With the taxes, it's 127. So we split, and I think it's a total of 550, I think. So we split that two ways. So it's not not a problem. We split that actual room. Now, if I order room service, that's on my tab. I take responsibility for that. If they order room service and order food, they take that. That's their share. But it's the actual room itself, the having a place to sleep, bathroom, that kind of thing. That is what we're splitting. The night stay, not the food. That is their responsibility. Um, then I start making a list of snacks I want to take, and then I make two lists: snack packing list and a clothes and toiletries. Well, technically three. A list of toiletries I'm taking, a list of snacks I'm taking, and a list of clothes I'm taking. So it's, but I put my clothes and toiletries on one list, so it's two lists, but it's really three. Um, the week before, I start buying things I need, such as things that won't go um, bad before I get there, such as I like to take Cottonelle wet wipes to wipe my bun, the travel size, and I usually go to Sam's and buy in bulk the packages. It's like about this thick, has about I think 50 to 75 Cottonelle wet wipes. I like to use that when this is gonna sound gross, when I go number two and or I'm on my cycle. I like to use them just to freshen up. Sorry if it sounds a little gross. I apologize, but it just I feel cleaner using them. Um, I buy those. I buy the to-go wipes. I buy the Clorox wet wipes to-go ones, and the Clorox spray because I've came across really traveling road trips to either my grandparents or um, going to convention. I have stumbled upon some really nasty bathrooms, and you can't hold it. And this is the only bathroom for miles, so I go ahead and get it. Um, I get those things, that kind of things. Um, when it gets um, closer to 1 or 2 days, maybe 3 days, I'll go ahead and get any food items that will go bad. That's non-perishable. That doesn't need to be in the cooler, but I need it. I want it fresher, such as getting um what is it uh powdered donuts, like in the little bag or little pouch that comes 10 a package. I'll get two or three of 2 to 4 of those, or I get the whole bag, big bag, for like under $5. That'll last me the whole weekend. From like Wednesday, no, yeah, from pretty much from Wednesday through Sunday. I don't always, I don't always eat. A lot of times I do, but sometimes I don't. But I have been known to eat breakfast in my room. I'll grab one of those, quick, easy. I don't have to go downstairs and spend 20, $25 in the hotel restaurant. Because there's a lot of times there is the only place to eat breakfast is in the hotel restaurant, or order room service, and that gets really pricey. Um, but if you do order room service, that is your prerogative. I'm not going to dodge you on that, judge you about that. But it does get pricey. That just, if you can afford it, go with it. Um, um, I also remind my boss that I'm off. Um, I also remind coworkers, such as the other teacher that works in the same classroom as I am, because I work in childcare. I remind her that I'm off. I'm off from this day to this day. Here's the lesson plans. Here's what you need to do. Everything's set up for them. All they have to do is actually do it. Now, if they do it, well, that's on them. Or if they don't do it, that's on them. But I have everything prepared for work prior to this. Now, a few days before, when I say few days, I mean anywhere from 2 to 4 days. I start doing my laundry. I pick up snacks and drinks for the trip. This is what I set up here: get snacks and drinks for the trip. I cook a few meals and put it in the freezer or refrigerator for my husband, such as I make spaghetti, shepherd's pie, taco lasagna, and I put some of them in the freezer and freeze it in like smaller containers, and or put it, yeah, I put like whatever we don't happen to eat that night as I make it. Like I'll make it, like say I leave on Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I make spaghetti, I make taco lasagna, I make shepherd's pie, and I take whatever we don't eat that night and put it in smaller containers, and I divide whatever half of whatever's left over, and I put some in the fridge and some in the freezer, and then that way he has meals for lunch and dinner for the rest of the time I'm gone. Yes, he can make for certain things for himself. So he can very easily go in and make him a sandwich. He knows how to make macaroni and cheese and tuna. He knows how to do all that stuff. I just try to make it easier. It's something I prefer to do for him. That way I know he's got hot meals for the week. I just feel as, you know, I feel like I need to do that. For you, that's depending on your situation, that's entirely up to you. Um, 1 to 2 days before, I pack. I pack, and then the night before, I do the dishes, take out the trash. So I don't want trash, because that's a habit of when I was living by myself. I made the dishes, made sure the dishes were clean, made sure the trash was taken out. I made sure that at the time I had a guinea pig. I made well in advance. I planned at least a month in advance. I made someone arrange with somebody taking my guinea pig, and so that way they can either come to my house, give them the spare key, and give them someone I trust come in my house, give them a key and feed my guinea pig, or I when my mom was alive, I took it over to her so she didn't have to go back and forth. It made it easier on her. And though she had a spare key, I took it to her. Those little things. Since I moved in with my husband 4 years ago, before we got married, he just took care of her, so we didn't have to do that. But he used to take care of her. Before I left, also, I used to clean her cage as well, and then I cleaned it immediately as I got back as well, because I used to clean it. I usually cleaned it on like Saturday or Sunday, and then cleaned it again as soon as I got home, because it just got nasty. And I also bathe her. I used to bathe her. The night before, I put everything I'm taking for convention by the door, so it's ready to go. Set up my clothes for the next day. Usually, if we're traveling out of town, it's usually between four. It's been in VFW convention has been in Dallas, Austin. No, next year will be in Austin. It's been in Houston, Dallas, Corpus Christi, and all those are about 3-4 hours away from maybe 5, depending on how fast you're driving and how many stops you're taking. Between 3, it's usually 4 or 5, maybe 6, depending on how usually it's about 4 hours away from Houston. If we don't stop, usually we stop for lunch or stop for gas, stop for where my dad can stretch his legs. So it usually takes us longer. I sit my clothes out, so I wear comfortable clothes, t-shirt, jeans, or a nice top, comfortable clothes. The day of, I get dressed, I eat breakfast. Even though I plan for for 3 meals for 5 days, which is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I planned for paying for 3 meals, eating out. I typically eat breakfast from home and then I go. It I plan that 20 to 30 bucks per meal, but it's I don't always use them, but I plan just in case. I also pack my cooler. I sit my cooler like the night before. I sit my cooler out, have the amount of drinks I want for the whole trip. I usually pack bottled water, enough sodas for me for the week from Wednesday through Sunday coming home, and those little 16-ounce bottles of water. I can drink 4 to 5 of those a day, so it's a lot. So this year I've tried using filters, but still in some of the hotels it comes out tasting nasty through the filters. So I tend to take bottled water, and I take between Wednesday through Thursday. That's about 25. And I've taken orange juice. I've taken other things as well, and I tend to put that in the cooler. I try to stick to one soda a day. Sometimes when you're on a vacation, sometimes you splurge, and I do. I ain't gonna lie, I splurge. I drink more soda. I drink more alcohol than I normally do. It's okay. It's a vacation, well, for me. I hope this gives you ideas. I hope you liked it. See you later.